Now we're going to set it up so that the character changes his animations once he reaches one of these target cubes. Okay, so when he pauses, we don't want him working on the spot. We actually want him to change animation to something like looking around or just simply stood still. But before we do that, I'm just going to click on enemy 1. And under the nav mesh agent, I'm actually going to change his angular speed. So I'm going to increase this to quite a high number. After experimenting, I've found that this number is really good, 25,000. Okay, it actually spins around really quickly, and it makes it look far more natural. So try that. Certainly if you want to experiment with that, see what you can do. Okay, so now what we need to do is do a little bit of work inside of this animator controller. So let's just double click on that. Alright, so we're going to open up this window. So at the moment we have walking with axe. We've got simply one animation. What we're going to do now is double click on this folder with axe, gun and bat. I'm going to transition to this look around. Okay, so I'm going to drag that in there, and I'm going to make a transition between this one and this one, and then I'm going to make a transition back. So make transition. There we go. So now we've got two transitions, but instead of just allowing it to seamlessly loop around, we're going to put a condition on these transitions. So first of all, let's just see what it looks like. We're going to press play. Okay, so he's walking and then he transitions into this. Now at the moment my speed is at 0.42, so let me just increase that to 1. There we go. And let's try that again. Let me just drag this slider back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. He transitions into this thing. I think that's fine. If you do need to increase that, you just click and drag those little triangles in order to make it a longer transition or a shorter transition. Okay, so where it says conditions, list is empty, we first need to give it a parameter. So we're going to click on parameters up here, if we can see it. List is empty, so we're going to click to choose a new parameter. Okay, and it's going to be an integer, and we're going to call this state with a capital S. Now you can call it whatever you like, it's perfectly fine, it's whatever name you decide on. I'm going to have this as a state so that I can say what state is the character in. That is going to determine which animation is playing, and it's going to be defaulted at 0. Okay, so 0 is when he's walking. When we change it to 1, we're going to have him looking around with axe. Okay, so with the transition clicked, where it says list is empty, we are now going to click plus, and we've got state. So then we're going to say is equal to or equals 1. Okay, so when that state equals 1, he's going to play this look around with axe animation, and it's going to constantly loop in that animation. So when it's coming back to the walking with axe, we're going to click plus again. State is equal to 0. Okay, so once that goes like that, it goes back into walking with axe. Okay, now we have to create that in the script so that that controls that flow of animation. Alright, so that's done for that. So let's go back into the script. I just want you to open this script. And this is obviously the script attached to the enemy. It's the enemy move script. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to declare a private animator. So private of type animator, and I'm just simply going to call mine anim. Okay, you can call yours anything you like as long as you're consistent, but I'm going to go with anim for now. Under the start, we need to be able to call the component. We need to be able to talk to the component animator, which is right there. It's on the character. It's on this character. So we need to be able to talk to that. So to do that, we need to get component. Okay, so anim equals get component. Oh, might have gone a bit wrong there. I hit about 2 keys at the same time there. Hit component, and it is animator. Okay, that will then get that component, allowing us to talk to it. Now under the waiting, this I enumerator whereby the character is paused, before he pauses we're going to change the animation to the standing animation. So we're going to type anim dot set integer, and we need to tell it which integer we want to change. We called it state. We need to tell it what number to change it to. It's number 1. Okay, so then if we take a look in the animator, this will then say it will change this integer right here from 0 to 1, and as long as it equals 1 it will move from this animation up to this animation. Okay, it will then wait for so many seconds, and then after it's done waiting we're going to type anim dot set integer, and the integer's name is state, and we're going to set it back to 0, and obviously put a semicolon on the end. So once it's done waiting, it's then going to run this transition. State is equal to 0, so it's going to go back to walking with axe. Okay, and that's all you need to do really in order to change animations. So that's quite easy. In the next video we're going to look at how we can modify this current target ++ in order to get it to act more randomly.